I'm here getting ready for a Detroit Lake Erie tournament, and you know there's a lot more involved than just getting your tackle ready. For gulp gobies, you know there's other things you got to do and more important things you got to do. And I'm just going through my garage, making sure I have everything in the boat. This is some drift socks. I always have them just in case. Rarely use them. They're always in the boat on Lake Erie. Anchor. This is the one that I like. It's just good in the rocks and big waves. It holds really well. You go through and check your flares. Make sure that the expiration dates are good to go. Put your phone in a Ziploc bag. It doesn't matter how dry storage you got on Lake Erie. You're going to get some water in there. This will keep your phone dry. Fishing licenses, I keep them all in my wallet. You need like 4 of them for Lake Erie, potentially. Ohio, Michigan, Indian Reservation, and an Ontario. Keep those all together. And heavy-duty rain gear. I like the heaviest stuff that I got, even though the water temperature, the air temperature is 85 degrees. The water temperature is still 69 to 72, and it's cold. You know, when you get wet out there making a long run, you're gonna wish you had the heavy stuff with you. And then I'll go through, and this is real important. Get the toolbox out, get the 19 millimeter wrenches ready, and tighten everything on this motor. Most importantly, the motor to the jack plate. There's 4 bolts you got to tighten there, and then the jack plate to the boat. Those are all 19 millimeter, like I said. Make sure those are all nice and snug. I go through and tighten other bolts. This is a real important one right there. Guys lose their motors because of that one. Just tighten everything up. Grease it up. Grease ports everywhere on this motor. Make sure it's all ready. I'll go through and put a 4-blade prop on there today too. It's just better handling in the waves, better response. I use aluminum trays for my batteries. Plastic ones will just break, and that's the last thing you want out there is a battery bouncing around loose. Very dangerous. Aluminum ones never break. And this is something Vic Vadalero does, and he does this in my boat. He's my Ranger dealership over in Kent, Ohio, Vic Sports Center. And this is, instead of using jumper cables, this is a switch that's hooked up and ready to go. If my batteries die, because on Lake Erie we're keeping those fish alive, we run the aerators all day long. If something should happen and my boat don't start, come back here, flip that switch to on, start the motor up, and I'm good to go. I also carry an extra bilge pump with a hose attached in case I need to, you know, just throw it on the floor, pump out compartments, whatever. And then there's 2 installed in the boat. I get 2 in there just in case. I mean, Lake Erie, you just never know. You want to be extra safe. As far as the GPS, I'll go through here. Just put my chip in there for Lake Erie so I have all my waypoints. And they've made the off limits for this tournament. It's pretty strange, but it's the 82nd parallel. So I'll take, before practice starts, I don't want to waste time, get on the GPS and run my cursor until this number goes from 82 to 81. And I put a waypoint there already. That's going to be our off limits. So I'll just put waypoints all the way up on my GPS right on that line so I don't have any questions. Just can't go past that line. Unfortunately, this is Cleveland right here. And that's where I was fishing last year, right out in front of Cleveland. And I was 1 fish away from making the cut, but I won't be allowed to go there this year. So don't ask me why they did it that way. It should be the PA line in my opinion, but it's only going to affect me, nobody else. As far as knowing exactly how much fuel I have and how fuel efficient I'm being and how much time I have on Lake Erie, you can hardly ever go full speed. So I've made up some charts. And this one is actually right off of Yamaha's website. It's really cool. You can go in there, match whatever boat you have to whatever motor you have. And I have a Z21 Ranger and a Yamaha VZ250. It's an HPDI. And I matched my boat with my motor. And this will tell me my miles per gallon, gallons per hour, and miles per hour at every RPM, from 1,000 all the way up to 5,700. So I know exactly what my fuel mileage is based on how fast I'm able to go in the big waves. So if I'm going 3,000 RPMs, that's 30 miles per hour basically, and I'm getting 4 miles per gallon, which is the top of the line. That's the best fuel efficiency you can get, 3,000 RPMs. But no matter what speed I'm going, I'll know what my fuel mileage is, and will tell me when I need to get gas and what I need to do to get prepared for that. This is something I make up that goes along real well with the Yamaha performance data. And this is just, I've set it up for 140 miles, which is the furthest run I would make on Lake Erie. I've got, 70 miles as far as I can go, and which is very rare, but it's possible. But I've set it up so my miles per hour, I know exactly how long it'll take me to go 140 miles. And I can calculate that, just split 140 into 70, do whatever you need to do. I know at 24 miles per hour, it takes me 5 hours and 50 minutes to go 140 miles. And I figured it all the way up to 64 miles per hour. And at going 140 miles, it'll take me 2 hours and 11 minutes. So I just look at this chart, and I know exactly what I can and can't do, and I can just figure that up on the fly while I'm running, and make the adjustments accordingly. It really, really works out good for me on Lake Erie. As far as buoys, got to have these on Lake Erie. This is what I use 99.9% of the time. It's a fisherman's marker. I just can't say enough about these things. I love them. Been using them for 8 or 9 years now, and they're just an awesome, awesome little deal. Fishermansmarker.com. They're real inexpensive. Get whatever color you want. This is what most people use. I use those sometimes. On Lake Erie, I like these big. These are Humminbird, big, giant, yellow, real buoyant buoys. And I've never bought any of these. We go out after a big tournament on Lake Erie, I'll take my Gramps or my dad or something out for a ride, Mitchell, and we'll just go ride around looking for buoys that people left out during the tournament. Poach them. Find as many as we can. I've got about 60 of them in the garage. I'll take about 10 of them out in the boat with me, and today what I'll do is I'll just go through and restring them. Put these big weights on here. It's actually a duck decoy weight. You can get anywhere you get duck hunting or hunting supplies, whatever. 8-ounce weight. They make them in 6 or 8 ounce. And I'll put the 8-ounce ones on there with 50 feet of heavy-duty string and get those all ready, and I'm ready to go. Rejuvenate, really, really important on Lake Erie, keeping those fish alive. Make sure you have plenty of that. And the other thing that's really important, especially on smallmouth in the summer like we're about to experience, is ice. And I'll take all my rods. This is my spare rod box. I usually have a few rods over there and maybe some stuff. I'll take everything out of there, and that is my ice box. I'll put 14 bags of ice in there. That's as many as you can fit, and just stock it all the way to the top. And that really, really helps keep fish alive. I'll have enough ice to last me all the way till I get to the boat check. Really, really important. And this is probably the most important part of the whole deal, trolling motor. If you want to keep your trolling motor on in real big waves, you have to do something. You have to get it ready somehow. And the way that I like to do it is this cheap little eye bolt. $1 at the hardware store. Take a drill. I'll drill a hole right there. Put the eye bolt in. And all I need is a 10-inch bungee cord. And when that eye bolt's in there, I'll just stretch that bungee cord, hook it right to there, and I'm done. It'll be rock solid. Along with the strap that comes with the motor and the eye bolt, you'll never have a problem. I've broken boats up in half on Lake Erie. I've spent the night out there, and ever since I started doing that, I've never had a problem. So that is about it. The other thing is the seats. I think I already mentioned that. I'll put the seats on the boat for the first time and just go over everything and make sure it's tight. That's about it. I hope this stuff helps you on your next trip to the big water of Lake Erie.